Hello and welcome everybody once again to the Commerce World's Strongest Man and the search for the new King of the Wild Frontier here in Kasane, Botswana. Well, it's been so far so good really for these 6 men from the first 3 heats who've already booked their place in the grand final. Eddie Hall is in there. Today we'll get the chance to see if Lawrence Shahlaei can join him. Lawrence with an incredible story really. A year ago, you'll recall, he seemed forced to retire from the sport with injuries, but now he's back and better than ever.
At the start of his career, Lawrence Shahlaei was a rising star. He became Britain's strongest man twice. Then suddenly, injury hit. It was relentless and unforgiving. But every setback made him stronger. Each time he fell, he rose. Now, nothing can hold him back. Even during the darkest moment in his career when he almost threw in the towel, he found a glimmer of light. That was enough to drive him on. Shahlaei enters Botswana with a burning reputation as Europe's strongest man.
Well, how will Europe's newly crowned finest fare here in the world? He's going to be meeting up with 5 other fearsome fellows. Let's find out about them now.
Jean-François Caron, Canada.
Ari Gunnarsson, Iceland.
Brian Benzel, United States.
Mikkel Light, Denmark.
Stan Carradine, United States.
Lawrence Shahlaei, Great Britain.
Well, joining us here in Kasane this year, the Savannah Wind tootling his magnificent mane is 4-time World's Strongest Man, Magnus Firm Magnusson. Magnus, delighted you're here with us. Delighted too that we got Lawrence back, because we really thought we'd seen the last of him.
Well, yeah, Lawrence has come back, bigger, stronger, and meaner than ever.
In this heat, though, he's facing yet another up-and-coming Icelandic strongman, a man who trains with you at your gym, who recently finished 2nd in the Strongest Man in Iceland competition, Ari Gunnarsson. What can you tell us about him?
Well, Ari is especially a good overhead lifter, and he's here to prove himself.
OK. England against Iceland, that usually works out well for us. Who else in the heat should we keep an eye on?
JF Caron.
The Canuck.
He cannot be overlooked.
Magnus. Let's join Sarah Jane at the loading race.
Thanks, guys. That's right. We'll be starting the loading race very soon, where our athletes will be carrying these 130-kilogram oil drums down a 14-metre course. Now, this has been a firm favourite for many years. They've been loading everything from beer kegs to blocks of ice. Let's relive some memorable moments.
Look at this, they're matching each other stride for stride.
He's having trouble, he has slipped.
I bet he'll never take ice in anything again.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that.
One last effort is there.
Love how some of those events were in water in the old days. We should bring that back. Not so today. Loading race. 75 seconds then to carry 3 barrels, 130 kg each, 275 pounds. Load them on a platform. So here's the Great Dane, Light, 2-time Denmark's strongest man. Carradine, the lightest of the athletes, trying to be the loudest as well. And Gunnarsson from Iceland, first time here. Another discovery from the mighty Magnusson from Iceland. And they're off, Colin.
So he gets a good start here, and it's the Viking who just grabs it and goes. There's not much of a lip on the bottom of the barrel, and that's what happens.
Carradine's struggling there in the centre.
And look at like that's probably the best way to carry it if you can do it. Get your hands both underneath it.
Really got this, get this barrel up high, don't you? Got to get right underneath it.
Caroline, of course, the shortest man in the entire World's Strongest Man lineup, well under 6 foot tall.
Well, look at this from Gunnarsson in the publican's walk. No sign of weakness.
We have about 30 seconds to go here.
Life really struggling now. Get underneath that barrel. Gunnarsson's found his technique, or has he?
Now it's hard to do that same technique for too long. It becomes so hard in the arms. If you can't get your hands underneath, and 15 seconds and they've all given up.
At MBNA, we're not really into all the exciting things you can buy with your credit card, like holidays, spa weekends, or gig tickets. We're just good at all the boring, techie number stuff, the making it all work stuff. That's why we're Moneyfacts Credit Card Provider of the Year. Again, we're your experts, your number nerds, your payment ninjas. We're MBNA, and we're boringly good at credit card stuff.
Travel out of the ordinary with the Kuoni sale at All Protected.
At Argos, the big sale is now on. Get great deals on Candy appliances. This dishwasher, fridge freezer and 8kg washing machine are each only $199.99 and with free delivery. Plus get our lowest price ever on this 48-inch Hitachi 4K smart TV, only $299.99. And save £100 on this Intel Pentium Acer laptop, only $199.99, our lowest price ever. Go Argos.
Well, 2 for Gunnarsson. There's 3 athletes to go.
From the United States of America, Brian Benzel.
So Benzel, another debutant in this competition.
Representing Canada, J.F. Caron.
Five-time Canada's strongest man, J.F. Caron.
Britain, Lawrence Charley.
And the Brit, Charley. These guys share a stylist. And they're off. Well, it's a slow start, isn't it?
It is now. JF's got it up. Wearing those sticky blue gloves. It'll probably help him a bit. He's the first to get one on, and oh my goodness, Benzel has mistimed that. Charley, and remember, every barrel's timed. He's now in the lead ahead of Benzel.
Well, where is Caron? He shocked everyone last year in this race by beating Brian Shaw.
He's fit, he's fast, he's very athletic, he's got the whole package, Caron. He's probably one of the big favourites for this heat.
This is surprising from Charley, Europe's strongest man, 2-time Britain's strongest man. Changed his technique, I'm not sure that's wise.
I mean, that shows he's in a bit of a muddle at the moment. He's panicking and he's very slow. I wonder whether he's just carrying too much body weight. Is fitness a problem here? It's 100-degree weather, and
there
my goodness.
JF manages it, all 3 barrels down goes Charley, causing minor earth tremors.
He's asked for the time there, 2 seconds left, nothing he can do.
It's a shame for Lawrence Charley, but a victory for JF Caron. 3 barrels, just under 1 minute 2 seconds. Benzel managing just 2. Let's look again at Charley. Just 1 barrel. Not happy.
Poor start. 3 men on 1 barrel. Wonder what position that will leave him in.
Apart from on the floor.
Not a good start for Lawrence. Still plenty of time yet for him to pick himself up and dust himself down in the race for the final. Up top, the Canuck can with the big cans. Top marks in this event for the 2nd year in succession for JF Caron. Well, next up, Loz & Co will be taking on one of the ultimate tests of endurance, the Hercules hold. That's coming up on Commerce, World's Strongest Man. Welcome back to the plains of beautiful Botswana. Now, event 1 here saw Canada's JF Caron taking maximum points, but now he and the rest of Heat 4 face one of the most fearsome tests of all. It's over to Colin and Danny to find out more.
Thanks, James. So yes, the Hercules hold. 2 pillars, each weighing the same as, well, about a fully grown lion. Very tricky rules. Don't let go. Took a while to explain that to Gunnarsson, but he got it in the end. Managed 25.59 seconds. Benzel, with his shimmering beard, managed 26.5. The Dane is not strongman without some Scandinavians. Light managed nearly 30 seconds. And remember, our lightest and shortest athlete, Caradine, 41.68. He leads and he's delighted.
Please welcome, from Great Britain, Lawrence Charley!
Yeah! So we move on to Charley. He will be a picture of concentration during this. Enjoys this event. He is recovering from injury though, and he's currently 5th. So he really needs to do well here. As the ref said, just to suck up the pain.
Yeah, make pain your friend, Danny. That's kind of the theory here. Or even try and take yourself away from this. To zone out. Right now, his arms slowly stretching out. Lactic acid building up. Smiling. Trying to keep his confidence up. He's only got another 10 seconds, and he's going to take this.
41.68 to beat. Just hang on. Well, he's done that. He's done all he needed to do.
It was when the pillars hit the ground, and I think he passed it.
With a time of 42.68 seconds from Great Britain, Lawrence Charley!
Yeah! 42.68 for the Brit.
And he looked so confident in the beginning, but it happens to everybody. Suddenly that lactic acid, your fingers start to peel open. There's nothing you can do about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please.
So he did just enough to inch ahead of Caradine.
JF Caron!
Now the turn of Caron.
You know, there's a certain psychological advantage in going last. You know the time you've got to go for. And it just gives you that little bit of extra. You'll no doubt have someone shouting out the time here, and he'll be gunning for that 42.5 second mark.
Now these are heavy enough already, these pillars. But if you let them move even just a centimetre, they get heavier and heavier on the body.
Absolutely. I mean,
at Argos, the big sale is now on. Get our lowest price on this 49-inch LG 4K Smart TV. Only £419. And get this PS4 Slim with Uncharted 4 for just $199.99. Plus, get our lowest prices ever on these Dysons. Only £198 each. Go Argos.
Travel out of the ordinary with the Kuoni sail, at or protected.
At Argos, the big home sale is now on. Save up to half price on furniture, with over 1,000 lines to choose from. And get it faster with delivery from the very next day. Plus, save up to 20% on Hygiena furniture, with hundreds of lines included. And save 20% on heart of house quality furniture and homewares. Go Argos.
One of the tricks you do is right at the beginning, you get it as tight as possible, those chains. You're allowed to adjust it to your length and then pull in and try and hold them in against those metal barriers. If they go out even an inch, they get really heavy and it's gone. Pulls away from you.
Well, look at this. Approaching Charlet's time. 42.68 to beat. Again, did just enough to win.
I'm not sure how much more was there, but he made it look cool anyway.
44.02. So Caron takes the Hercules hold.
And you can see here, he was definitely in control. He lets go on purpose. Good effort.
JF, congratulations on the Hercules hold. You absolutely killed it. You look like you had more in the tank. Were you reserving any of your energy?
Yeah, I want to save my energy because I have a little injury in bicep after first event, but it's an old injury since 1 month, I think. I feel pain a little bit in bicep, and when I see I beat the Lawrence Shirley time, I decide to stop it now and save my grip for the final. We have a big frame carry. I need it, and I need fresh skin also, because if you broke skin, it's a little bit dangerous also, and can give you some problem in the other events.
I like the strategy there. So 2 massive wings back to back. Are you feeling confident now that you're going to make it through to your 4th final?
Oh yes, I'm very confident. I have really good event this year. I think it's the year in qualification, then I have the best events. I don't have a hole, or sometimes I have a bad event, but this year just good event for me, and I have good event also in final. I'm not qualified yet, but I want to try to improve my 6th place from last year.
Well, we hope that you do. All the best.
Thank you.
2 wins on the bounce for Caron, and much better this time from Lawrence Charlet, while Magnus may have some work to do with his Icelandic protege Gunnarsson, all the way down in last place. In the overall standings, JF looking okay, 5 points clear, and it's tight as you like behind him. Big Loz has moved into 2nd place, but there's only 2 points between him and bottom spot. Sarah Jane and Magnus are at our next event.
OK, guys, it is time for the very exciting truck pull. Our athletes have to pull 18 tons of metal up a 25-metre track. And to talk more about it, of course, Magnus, you know everything when it comes to truck pulls. One thing I've always wanted to know, we don't have one of these in our back garden, so how do these guys actually train for the truck pull?
Well, we didn't always have trucks to train in the old days. So I did step-ups with heavy weights on my shoulders.
Really?
And something you call a Versa climber, so which I was doing like this. So I was almost like a hamster on a wheel.
And did that work for you? It clearly did in the old days.
It did work, yeah. Pretty good. But this is one of the hardest things to do. It's an overall body test and a lot of endurance that goes into this.
Now let's think about the group that we have today. Who would you say is in contention to get the best time?
Well, I'm sure Lawrence Shirley wants to make up for a mistake in the first event. So he's definitely going to go for it full speed.
OK, we'll keep our eyes on him then. Thank you so much. It's time to find out who is going to get the wheels in motion.
Get that kid off the truck. I saw him. So the truck pull, 60 seconds. Well, you can guess. To pull a truck, 18 metric tons. 25 metres, the length of the course. Well, America's Caroline gave it a go. Once again, the lightest. Did very well. Currently 3rd, 57.03 his time. And Denmark's Light gave it a go. 51.75, so he inched ahead of Caroline. And it was Gunnarsson from Iceland. Managed a time of 48.85, taking the lead.
From the United States of America, Brian Benzel.
So Benzel will want to get down low on this.
Take the straight!
That's what most people do. Start nice and low. Only really Bjornsson starts high, but at 6'9", he's pretty much always high.
Yeah, but Bjornsson has his own technique and he gets his hips through. That's the key right at the start. It's all about the initial inertia, getting it moving. And now just getting it up to a certain pace before you hit fatigue. Now, Benzel's a heavy guy. He's a tall man. And, of course, mass pulls mass. Helps to have muscles, but sheer body weight does help.
It's about the arms as much as the legs here as well.
Oh, the rope makes a huge difference. Back in the old days, the 70s and 80s, it was the heaviest guy who won when there was no rope. But now it's all body power.
Well, look at this. It's going to be tight. 48.85 the time to beat. The truck must pass the line. Not sure he did it.
Very close.
He has. 48.63, 2/10 of a second faster than Gunnarsson.
So the lead man, the heaviest man, sure does help. Look there, his arms are very tired. The rope's very slack at this point. Your grip goes first.
From Great Britain.
On to Charlet then.
Yeah.
Second place after 2 events. Caron ahead of him. Now he wants this. First Brit to win Europe's Strongest Man since '91. And wants to be the first.
At Argos, the big sale is now on. Get our lowest prices on Bush appliances. This 7-kilogram washing machine is only $149.99. Or get the 8-kilogram for £20 more. And get this Lenovo i3 laptop bundle, just $269.99, with accessories worth £50. Plus, get our lowest price ever on this Reebok treadmill, only $379.99 with free next day delivery. Go Argos.
Travel out of the ordinary with the Kuoni sail, at or protected.
At Argos, the big home sale is now on. Save up to half price on furniture, with over 1,000 lines to choose from. And get it faster with delivery from the very next day. Plus, save up to 20% on Hygiena furniture, with hundreds of lines included. And save 20% on Heart of House quality furniture and homewares. Go Argos.
Brit to win World's Strongest Man since 1993.
Now he's quite high, but he's dipping his hips into it. That's the key here. So actually he's using his leg power, and Laurent Charlet has some of the most powerful legs in the world. We know that from the squat. And I think that's a pretty good start, actually, going through the gears here.
It's the arms that get tired first from pulling on that rope.
But he's got it up to speed so well. I think this could be a winner here.
He's found the rhythm, found the momentum. Sounds like a steam train. 48.63 to beat. Easy.
And he went like a steam train. Good effort.
So that puts the pressure on Caron. Charlet takes the truck pull.
Yeah, techniques can be deceiving. He really got his legs into it at the start. Managed to keep his arms, then pulling up to a pretty high speed, and that momentum, it just keeps the truck moving forward when he's tired.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Canada, JF Caron.
Yeah!
So if he wins this event, it'll be 3 in a row for Caron. And this should be a tight race.
Now that's interesting. Really going for a big double-footed drive. 2 of them at the start to try and get over that inertia. He's lighter than Charlet. Great technique.
Almost horizontal now. 41.66 the time to beat. It's halfway there.
He has turned up in tremendous shape. I've never seen him so good.
Approaching the 15-meter mark.
This reminds me of Pudzianowski, who was one of the lighter men always in the World's Strongest Man final, and he could win it just by all-body power. He's still using his arms perfectly.
It's going to be close. 41.66. Will he do it? Do you know, I think Charlet might have taken that.
Just
43.6 for Caron.
I'm not sure he could have squeezed any more out of his body there. Every bit of energy, every muscle channeled forward efficiently.
Lawrence, congratulations. I saw you preparing for that. You were really getting into the zone. What was going through your mind, though?
Just trying to psych myself up. Obviously, I had a really bad start with the loading, and I knew I needed some big points on this one. Truck pull's one of those events that I've put a lot of work into. Over the last couple of years, I've put some weight back on, which helps anyway. But I've got really strong hips and legs, trained hard on it, so my technique's good, and it paid off today. I really needed those points.
You did. You're bouncing back, aren't you? So how are you feeling now?
A lot happier than I was after that first event. World's Strongest Man's always a tough comp, and it's a long competition as well. We're only three events in so far. Obviously, I've got my eye on getting to the final, but you can't take anything for granted.
Well, you're in a good position, so best of luck.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Big Loz earning himself big points there. Swindon's finest hauling that 18-tonner over the line just under 2 seconds faster than Caron, with Benzel and Gunnarsson the next best. And the table's looking a whole heap better for Charlet now too. He's narrowed Caron's lead to just 4 points, while he now has a 3-point advantage himself over his nearest rival, Brian Benzel. And coming up, it's one of Charlet's favourite events, the squat lift, although not everyone has seemed to enjoy it so far here in Botswana. That's next on Commerce World's Strongest Man.
Welcome back, everyone, to Commerce World's Strongest Man. Well, halfway through Heat 4, time now for a little recap on events so far. It was slowly but surely in the opening event, the loading race. Lawrence a disappointing 5th, while JF Caron took the win ahead of Ari Gunnarsson. But Europe's Strongest Man was soon on the comeback trail. In the Hercules hold, while Caron fought through the pain to take the win, Lawrence roared into second. Literally. Then came the truck pull, and nothing slow about this from Lawrence. Maximum points, consolidating his hold on second overall. Indeed, with 3 events to go, he's just behind Caron, 3 points ahead of Brian Benzel, and 4 of Ari Gunnarsson. So next up, let's join them at the squat lift.
And bringing us the action of what looks like a key moment for Lawrence's comeback hopes, it's the dynamic duo of Colin Bryce and Danny Wallace.
Thank you, James. So yes, a classic strongman event, the squat lift. You think of strongman, think of this image. 60 seconds to do as many reps as possible. These guys already had a go. Benzel didn't manage any. Light managed 1. Caroline takes the lead with 2. Who remains?
Ladies and gentlemen, a big Botswana welcome from Iceland, Ari Gunnarsson.
So Gunnarsson. Interestingly, his trainer was saying that he's pretty new to squats, this guy. Just happens to be built this way. So we've got that in common.
Squat. Yes, indeed, Danny. That natural physique you hold.
Easy.
Easy. Squat. 2. A third would be brilliant. From someone who hasn't done that much squatting.
Willie, he has to lock out. I think he's nervous. That's it. Well, 3, so he's taken the lead.
Show your appreciation. The new leader with 3 squat lifts.
He knew he had a one-way ticket on the last one, didn't he? He was going down and that was it.
So
he was still fighting there. That was his 3rd rep. That was impressive. Very impressive.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Europe's Strongest Man, Lawrence Charlet.
So our attention turns to Charlet. Now he's great at this, a brilliant squatter. He's done 9 before.
He has, yes. He actually didn't need to a few years ago in China. He just did it for fun, to beat all the other groups. And then, of course, injured himself on the 9th. So I doubt he'll do more than he has to here, which is, well, 4 to take the lead, but JF to follow.
Now that bar doesn't revolve. If you lose balance with it, it's very hard to recover, but he does 4. He does enough to get ahead. Is it enough, though, to beat Caron?
Well, Caron's known for his deadlifting, but he's a power lifter, so Having rarely seen Caron squat, I imagine he'll be pretty good. And of course, 4, it's not a huge total. Really taking his time there, Charlet. That was very deliberate.
Please welcome from Canada, J.F. Caron.
There he is, Caron, the leader after 3 events. And you mentioned being very deliberate. You have to be incredibly deliberate with this, don't you? The balance is key.
In your own time, lift!
Yes, indeed. And you have to hit both of those markers down the bottom. Each man has to try and hit a certain depth. It changes for every man. Of course, everyone's not the same height.
Squat.
He looks good. He's actually almost using the bounce, which is a bit brave.
Oh, yeah, lovely squat.
Had a little trouble there, but no, look, 4, enough for him. Not a huge amount of reps from either Caron or Charlet, but enough for them to share the win.
Well, Caron looked like he was good for another 1 or 2 there, but then again, so was Charlet. Does make you think, perhaps Anglo-Canadian relationships on a high.
Are you suggesting there was a discussion?
No, not at all. What are you saying?
Well, Lawrence matching Caron there with 4 big reps. 1 more, perhaps crucially, than the man who looks like being his other big rival for a top 2 spot, Gunnarsson. So in the overall standings, still 4 points between the top 2, but Lawrence now has a 5.5 point cushion over Gunnarsson in 3rd. All looking good then for Charlet to cap a year that's been perhaps his best ever, just when he expected it least.
To all doubters, to all those who say forgotten men must remain that way, there is a man who defies you. In the summer of 2016, Lawrence Charlet won the biggest strongman title of his career. In front of a 10,000-strong crowd, he defied the odds and became Europe's strongest man. In doing so, he had dethroned the mighty mountain himself, 2-time winner and reigning champion Hathor Julius Bjornsson. It was a shock to many, but not to the man from Britain's West Country.
Deep down, I've always believed in my ability, and the events were always going to suit me at Europe's. Hathor made a little mistake on one of the events, and it just let me in to capitalise and take the victory. I heard my name announced as the winner. It was kind of like, it made all the kind of years of tough, the hard parts that I've had in the past with the injuries and the knockbacks, it kind of made all that worthwhile. It has been an incredible experience, and it's made me hungry to do better now and go up 1 step and win the world's strongest man.
The year-long build-up to the Europes had not been easy. During the Commerce World's Strongest Man in 2015, Charlet tore multiple muscles. It was the latest in a long line of injuries that had tormented one of Britain's leading strong men. He even announced that he was calling time on his career.
Yeah, that was a real low moment for me on the North Hammer.
How's pain? That's it.
I was starting back in 2012. I tore my labrum, and then it was literally lots of hard work to try and come back from that, and then I got injured again and again and again. And you keep trying to build yourself up, believe in yourself, believe you can still compete at this top level, and then to be knocked down again and again and again. And I think the Norse Hammer was kind of like the final nail in the coffin. It was kind of, I felt finished. I just had nothing inside. I lost my love for the sport. But just through the support of my family, I've managed to kind of get back into the gym and start just training to enjoy it again and remembering why I started this sport. I started for fun.
Having stood firmly in the eye of adversity's storm throughout his career, Charlet's resolve has been strengthened. Every setback has made his determination burn brighter. Yeah! Injuries have not defined the man. The manner in which he has continuously clawed his way back from the edge has.
It's been hard, I'm not going to lie, but it feels worth it now, especially winning Europe's. All those hard training sessions, all those setbacks, It's made me tougher as a competitor. It's made me even more ambitious to, you know, come back and win the title. You know, I honestly believe I have a chance now. Whereas before it's like, oh, I'd like to get to the final, I'd like to come top 5. Now I want to train to win World's Strongest Man.
After his European glory, Charlet now turns his attention to conquering the world. Big Loss has his sights firmly set on Botswana.
There's only one step up now, you know. My focus is to win World's Strongest Man. I'm a completely different person this year to how I was last year, physically and mentally. I'm in a good place and ready to smash it.
To all doubters, to all those who believe forgotten men should remain that way, Lawrence Charlet has proved you wrong.
Up next is the penultimate event, the dumbbell press, and it's a daunting one as it's weighing in at a whopping 100 kilograms, roughly about the same weight as a newborn elephant. Not that I'm saying that you should lift one, but you get the idea. Anyway, it's very heavy and it's coming at a critical time in Heat 4. So let's see who's up for the challenge.
So here's a little one for the grandmas. If you do it with an elephant, it'll be the Dumbo press, Colin. All right, so 75 seconds to lift this weight. You can use both arms to bring it up to your shoulder, but then you've got to jerk it up. Caradine gave it a go, got 4 reps, currently in second. And Light, our biomedical scientist from Denmark, got 8.
Welcome from Iceland, Ari Gunnarsson.
Gunnarsson then, as I said earlier, another
From the
protege
United States of
Magnusson
America,
and Magnusson.
Brian Benzel.
Going up against Benzel. First time here.
Very good presser, Gunnarsson. I'm not sure he's got much technique, though. He's done strongman for such a short time. Benzel, now he's been on the American scene a very long time, so I expect an accomplished technique, yes, 2 apiece.
So 8 to beat, set by the Dane. That Scandinavian rivalry means that Gunnarsson will want to take this. He works as a lifeguard at a swimming pool.
He also missed that 3rd rep there, you know. It didn't quite lock out and it was falling away, so he wasn't given it.
Well, no problems that time. 4 reps. Just over 30 seconds to go.
Trying to sneak another hand on there, Benzel. That's definitely not allowed. It's a one-handed movement. Tell you what, Gunnarsson's got his rhythm now. Oh, I slipped off his shoulder there, and that could have really hurt him.
Couldn't quite lock out, could he, Benzel? Nowhere near, in fact.
You try and sit it behind your neck and then jerk it with your legs. Perfect.
Need that explosive movement. Just over 5 seconds to go. Gunnarsson on 6. What's he got it in? No. Couldn't manage it. So Light still ahead in this event.
Ari Gunnarsson.
And the heat, Danny, I mean, we've barely discussed it. It's so hot here today. And
show your appreciation for Brian Benzel.
Well, he's from Nebraska, so he's maybe a bit used to it, but the Icelander, it's tough conditions for him.
You'd have to have second thoughts about the beard, though, wouldn't you, in this heat?
Indeed. Well, drives it overhead. Didn't quite beat 8 reps, though, from the Dane, who also was bacon.
From Great Britain, Lawrence Charlet.
Charlet then, in second place after 4 events.
JF Caron.
Going up against the man who's, well, really become his rival today in so many ways, Caron. They equalled each other earlier in the squat lift. But now, head to head.
And you know what, with Gunnarsson and indeed Light doing such a good amount of reps, these guys are just going to have to go for it. They're not going to be able to pay attention to each other. If there was any kind of funny handshake in the squat because they knew they were the best, well, they're not going to be the best here.
Charlet not looking very stable, Colin.
Well, you know what, that is the shoulder that he got damaged very badly just last year doing those nose hammers. And this was always going to be a weakness for him.
Charlet really having trouble now.
Almost looks like he hasn't got the flexibility to get it behind his neck.
Well, he's got to keep this rep count up to keep the pressure on.
Maybe he should try his left arm, but if you haven't practiced it, it's not a great idea to do it on the job. No.
This is a bit of a disaster for Charlet, leaving it open for Caron. Caron thinks he's done enough. He's happy with that. Charlet. Such a shame for Charlet.
With 2 repetitions from Great Britain. Give it up for Lawrence Charlet.
So, only takes 6th.
And with 5 repetitions from Canada, JF Caron.
Caron happy to take 3rd in that event.
I'm afraid it'll be last, though, for Lawrence Charlet. And he's lost a lot of points on Gunnarsson, who's going to be climbing right up the ladder of the leaderboard.
So at a critical stage in the competition, you did really, really well in dumbbell press. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you for that. I was aiming high in this event. I was hoping for first place, but Mikkel did very good with 8 reps. But I tried, I took 6, so I'm happy.
Yes, I'm sure you are, because you've also closed the gap now on 2nd place. There's only 1.5 points in it now. So do you feel like you could qualify?
Yeah, of course I think I can. I was hoping to close the gap on Lawrence here, and I did. 1.5 points is nothing, and anything can happen. It's double points in the stone, so we see what happens.
Indeed we will. While light finally comes out of the shadows, that 2nd spot for Ari could prove huge, with Lawrence performing so badly in this event, just 2 reps and picking up 1 point. After 5 events of 6, Caron now is 7 points clear, and the real battle is behind him for the other qualifying spot. Lawrence has it for now, but with double points available on the stones and light within striking distance too, he'll be feeling anything but secure. Has Lawrence fought back only to lose out at the last? Will Gunnarsson take his place at the final? We'll find out next on Commerce World's Strongest Man. Welcome back to Botswana. Tension is high in Heat 4 of the Commerce World's Strongest Man as we prepare to assign the 2 qualifying spots for the grand final. The last test is a traditional one. Let's join our commentary team of Colin Bryce and first, Danny Wallace.
Thanks, James. The Atlas stones then. 60 seconds to raise 5 stones onto those platforms. Points doubled in this event. Everything to play for. Benzel managed 4 in 37.06 seconds. And the story here is going to be between Gunnarsson here and Charlet. We really are going to be battling it out for 2nd place. And a place in the grand finals. Light here from Denmark in 4th after 5 events.
Not many men do 5 stones, so it's crucial to do a quick 4. Now 37 seconds from Benzel earlier could come into play here.
It's a bad start from Gunnarsson.
Yeah, very
good news
start
for Charlet.
Again, he's so raw, Gunnarsson. I mean, he's just put a bit of tape around his arms. I mean, he doesn't look entirely professional. He's just got so much raw power. This is his 2nd year in strongman.
Light moving on to his 3rd.
Well, the problem with Light is it's just the height. You know, he's only about 5'10", which in strongman terms is very short.
Struggling to get it onto the platform. Not happening now. Light as well seems in trouble. What's he got left in him? Still got 20 or so seconds. No. They've both had enough. The Dane and the Icelandic giant.
With 3 stones at a time of 34.96 seconds, Mikkel Lee!
So, 3 stones. But he's out of the grand final.
And with 3 stones
and that slip up at the start really costing Gunnarsson, but still in contention.
27 seconds for 3 stones. Could have been a bit quicker if he hadn't slipped on the first one, but the 3rd, he got into his swing, went up nicely.
Representing Canada, JF Caron.
So Caron leading by some way after 5 events, more or less guaranteed.
Great Britain, Lawrence Charlet.
And Charlet in 2nd place, in contention, needs to do well, needs to beat Gunnarsson.
Yeah, I mean, JF just needs to pop up a couple, go ahead of someone like Carradine, and then he's got enough points. But really, Loz, he's got to go for it here. Got to get 4 on at least to then absolutely guarantee it. A slow 3 would not be good. And he doesn't. Well done, Lawrence.
Look at him, moving straight on to the 4th, not slowing down, not taking his time, just trying to get that up there.
Guaranteed right there. He's in the final.
That's it.
Grand final, he knows it.
Will he tackle the 5th just for fun? Doesn't look like fun. Doesn't need to.
No, Europe's strongest man is in the final. Well done, Lawrence Shahlaei.
Ladies and gentlemen, in second place and through to the final of World's Strongest Man from Great Britain, Lawrence Shahlaei.
Just great. And if he can go all the way, first Brit since '93 to win.
Canada, give it up for JF Caron.
Thank you.
And they will meet again.
Caron, he really was the class of this group, though. I think if anyone was going to go on to the podium, you'd have to say Caron from what we've seen. But Loz, he fought back from a terrible start.
Speaking of big loss, AK Lawrence, how are you feeling? Because you've had, injuries, been plagued with injuries over the years. You came back this year as Europe's strongest man. Can you be world's strongest man?
Yeah, I've had a, from last year where I pretty much, was done with it. I've come back and had a really good year. Obviously, winning Europe's strongest man, I really wanted to make the final, and I'll be prepared to fight as hard as I can. Made it quite hard for myself with a couple of mistakes, but the events that we have in the final, I've done well at. Me and JF both probably feel like we're fairly fresh as well, which is nice, because sometimes when you get to the final, you're already battered from the heats event. So it's nice to be in a position where I still feel like I've got a lot of energy to give. We're going to all battle hard, and who knows how high we can place.
Well, a great result in the meantime for Lawrence and JF, who make it a 1-2 in the Stones. Benzel performing well in 3rd ahead of Light, but disappointment for Gunnarsson, who let 2nd spot slip through his fingers. The final standings then in Heat 4. The man from the land of the Maple Leaf takes top honours, and the 2nd qualifier for the Grand Final, and the 2nd Brit through this year so far, Lawrence Shahlaei.
Well, next time out, it's our last heat, our last 2 places to be won in the Grand Final, and our first look this year at 3-time champion Brian Shaw, the man, of course, atop whose babyface the crown currently resides. Watch him begin his title defence next time on World's Strongest Man.